Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Isaac Kibet, and today in today's video we're going to talk about my trip to Tanzania, how I got to decide where I went, how much I spent. Yeah, so stay tuned. To give you a brief overview of how much I spent. So what you need to go to Tanzania, I decided to go to Arusha. I wanted to see some nature in Arusha. I saw that there were some few waterfalls there. I wanted to hike. There's a special event that I got surprised in the event, and yeah, ideally I wanted to go to Dar es Salaam, but there was no time. The activities that I did took most of the time. That's why I didn't go to Dar es Salaam. So yeah. So before you decide to go to Tanzania, what you need is a passport. Obvious, you need a passport and a yellow fever. So when I was looking for yellow fever shot, there are two things I noted. One is if you go to any hospital, they charge a lot. I don't know why they charge a lot for that shot. And I went to a few hospitals. I won't mention the names, but Haizikukwa, they told me that the only remaining shots were group, unless I come the other week. So someone told me that I can go to the border, the Namanga border, and I can get the yellow fever shot. So which I got, which was actually cheaper than in Kenya. When you go to the border, it is 1,500, but when you go to hospitals, it ranges between 2,500, 3,500. It varies depending on the hospital you go to. So yeah, so one of the first charges I got was the yellow fever shot, which was 1,500. So I started my trip at around 9 a.m. I took a matatu. It was around 700 shillings to Namanga border. Then I went to check out of the country to departures in Kenya. Then I arrived in the same immigration office. There is arrival and departure. So I checked into Tanzania. I was given a visa for 30 days. I think by default you're given 30 days. So yeah, so after that I went to change my money. Then something to note, if you stay for more than a few days, like let's say 3 to 4 days, maybe to 5 days, I'd recommend you buy a SIM card. SIM card was around, I think 500. It was around 100 shillings or so. I don't know, don't remember, but yeah, it's cheap. You get a Vodacom line and you buy bundles, because Safaricom is a bit expensive when you're using roaming. Yeah. So I bought the SIM card. I exchanged. I saw that there were good exchange rates with the people outside, but if you are patient enough, you can go to town, Arusha town. There are good deals that you can get. If you have time, you can change them in Kenya, maybe using your bank. They have good rates, like my bank is Stanbic, so they were exchanging it with around 20 shillings 0.45, but at the border you exchange that there's 20 shillings and 50 cents. So there are some people who are exchanging them at 20.3. You might not feel it when you're exchanging small money, but if you have maybe let's say 10,000 shillings, 20,000 shillings or 30, you'll see the difference that the cents will have. So yeah, I was noting down every expense I had except for the SIM card. So yeah, so once I got to the border, so the first place I wanted to visit was Longido. Longido was a very nice place. There's a mountain there called Mount Longido. You can see it from Namanga border. Actually, it's very scenic. Once you go to Longido, it's actually 12 kilometers. It was around how many shillings? It was 70 shillings, 70 Kenya shillings. Yeah, thereabout. Yeah, I used it's called daladala, not matatu. We normally call it matatu, but it's like so they call that car Noah, but it's supposed to be higher. It's here, so Toyota here or something. Yeah, so it's their form of matatu. They call it daladala. So it's around 70 shillings from the border to Longido. So then once I got to Longido, I looked for a place to sleep. So there's a nice place, I'll link it here. It's it's more of a rescue. It's like a rescue for girls, rescue school or something. It's a hotel where you can sleep there. So the money they collect, they can use it to sponsor the students there. So maybe school fees, maybe their food or something of that sort. Yeah, so you can check them out. They are very nice, they're very good people there, they have good food. Yeah. So I only paid for bed and breakfast, so I got my supper there at Longido town. I took it has pilau. They have very nice pilau compared to ours. It's actually different, but their stew, it's very good. Yeah. So yeah, after that, the second day I traveled to Arusha. It was around, I think it was around 300 shillings. When I used Tanzania shillings, it's a lot. So unasikia kama Tanzania ni 300 times 2, that is sema ni 6,000 shillings. 6,000 Tanzania shillings, but it's actually 300. So yeah, I hope I got the math right. So by the way, when you go there, the main app you'll be using will be your calculator, then WhatsApp, because mostly your phone won't work, especially if you don't have a SIM card. So your calculation ya pesa unaambiwa your bill is 20,000 shillings, 20,000 Tanzania shillings. So you're wondering how much is that? That's actually 1,000 Kenya shillings. So yeah, mostly you'll be using, before you get used to it, you'll be calculating using your calculator with the exchange rate that you had. So yeah, I went to Arusha. It was so scenic. I enjoyed the trip. Took around 1 hour, 2 hours was thereabouts. So yeah, I got to Arusha, and I got a challenge getting a hotel, a very good hotel. So the reason why I did not book Airbnb was, there was a time I went to Diani. I booked it in advance, but what I saw was totally different from what I got. So I learned my lesson. So I said, either I use a hotel, or when I get an Airbnb, I check the exact location where it is, then I go there and ask if there is a room. Kuna rooms huko? Oh, so you do Airbnb. So I don't advocate for you not to use Airbnb app, but because of the previous experience, I opted to use that option. But luckily I didn't use Airbnb. I got a hotel within town because I wanted somewhere central, where I can access all this, the mountain. There's some places I wanted to visit, places in town. So yeah, I got a hotel. It was around, I think, 2,500 Kenya shillings per night. So I booked for 5 nights and 6 days. So yeah, that includes breakfasts. So the good thing about that place, it had a very nice balcony that had the view of Mount Meru. So yeah. So for food it depends with the pocket, depends with what you want to eat. There are very nice street foods. There are also nice restaurants there, but I'll recommend you go to either street or a famous restaurant that has many people. Don't go to secluded restaurants. Yes, they have good food, but it's expensive for nothing. So yeah, so after that, then I visited, the next day I went to Lake Duluti. Duluti is the best experience I've ever had in Arusha. So yeah, so after that I went to another waterfall. I don't remember the name. I'll just write it here. There are very many waterfalls around Mount Meru. So I got to visit there. Then after that I went hiking to Napuru waterfalls there. So I got the event that I told you about. I paid the tour guide around 20,000. It was around 1,000 shillings. I spent around 3,000 shillings there. That includes the meals, the transport to and fro, then the tour guide fees. So yeah. So on average, you can spend around, if I can summarize the total amount of money that I spent on my trip, it was around, I think, 30,000, between 28,000 to 30,000 thereabout. That is for 5 nights, 6 days, 6 days trip and 5 nights to Arusha. But if you want to spend more, if you go to posh places, if you go to many places, obviously you'll spend more. So yeah, if you have any questions from my trip, you can feel free to ask me in the comment section. So yeah, thank you so much for subscribing and viewing this video. Watch out for more. Okay, bye.